Daily Tarot for December 6, 2020. We have 1, 2, and 3. Choose which card you feel that you resonate with, but we will be also reading the message for all 3 cards. We are using the Psychic Tarot deck today. So the first card, as always, just pause the video if you want to pick the card. So we'll move on to the first card. So the first card we have here is the Spiritual Union, okay? And the Spiritual Union card is about, of course, coming together, right? It kind of reminds me of, the Two of Cups becoming and having a deep connection with the Ace of Cups, like that spiritual connection. That's what I think of it, having an excellent partnership, relationship. So today the lesson for you could be, or the experience could be, a really good business partner, loving partner, resolving some kind of family issue, or finding the resolve within yourself. It could be resolving it with a person, or coming to some kind of heart resolution for yourself, right? It could be different for everyone else, but the main idea of this card is to let us know that we are our relationships with others, right? It really stems from how we view ourselves. So we could take many paths of understanding with this card, and especially if you have the deck, but for what I intuitively feel today, it's really talking about, the way we see ourselves creates the relationships we have with other people. So once you can heal yourself, then you really will separate yourself from negative or really bad relationships with other people that aren't loving, respectful, kind, and so on, right? So even if the person has good intentions, if they have a continuous pattern of not healing, then that is a reflection of also you not healing something within yourself. So reaching for this healing today will bring about, okay, I'm going to really work on healing myself. And if you need to be separated or away from a negative person or bad behavior, or just even understanding this bad behavior, then you can really emotionally separate yourself from that. Because, this is such a big chunk, but really we are the reflection of the relationships that we have. And when we love ourselves enough, we will move ourselves away from anything that's less, right? And it's a day to really realize that we can have this kind of spiritual revolution of healing and union within ourselves, being one with ourselves. And then also recognizing, appreciating someone in our life that is truly loving, and this person can be a friend, a partner, a romantic relationship, a loving relationship, and just appreciate that person and just know truly that we can have a cycle of just healing for ourselves, right? Really not easy, but a real powerful shift and change within ourselves. I also want to say, even if it's not obvious, that this card with the 2, I think of balance and harmony, right? And it's funny, if you're around a person long enough, you too will think of the same thing, because you have that close connection. But really, if you're going through a negative time also, it's all about healing that part within ourselves so that we can grow and evolve from any relationship that isn't respectful and loving and fair, right? And if we have that love in our life, then recognize it and honor it, and keep it. So the next card is the Truth card, and it has number 20 on it. And what I wanted to say is that whenever I pull any card, I always pull a second card. Like for this card, I had pulled the Queen of Swords, and it really, this is just my own little background thing that I'm sharing with you guys. So if you like it, let me know, because I pull a second card just to see if it matches up, and I'll be doing that in future readings. You guys will see it. But it's really cool because the power of our words is so healing. So I just wanted to drop that in there, okay? I thought that was a beautiful message. All right, so let me go on to the truth one. So the truth one, it's about having a spiritual awakening for yourself, right? And this deck comes with the meaning, so it's pretty cool. So it's really about you being clear with yourself and being clear on what you are looking at and what you are judging. And it represents also the judgment card. So while others are judging you, you're judging yourself. But if you look at the picture, you can see, to me, the scales are pretty much balanced, right? And 20 breaks down to 2 in numerology, which is balance, right? That duality. So I really feel this card is like, you know where you're going, and you know that your point of view is clear, right? And you have to be truthful to yourself, right? Whenever something happens. So someone said something to me a few days ago. You have to consider the source of when people are judging you. You know, is this person, you know, drinking someone's juice and just believing and really just saying, okay, I'm just going to agree with you because I admire you, or I'm your friend? Or are you a person of some kind of quality and some kind of strength, and not just a follower, right? Where you can think for yourself and see it. And sometimes when someone is blind, you can't really show them that they're blind. They have to come to it themselves, because some people are just filled with anger, and we all feel some form of, you know, anger or off balance, resentment or frustration or whatever. But it's just being conscious enough to say, okay, I see clearly that something isn't right. Okay. And then the healing process has to happen for there to be balance, or for the mind to really open up and to really see something clearly and see that, hey, it's not just one way. There's some form of balance here that you need to be aware of. So it's really about the truth, not an opinion, right? And you have to really be aware that, yeah, I know that I'm correct. I know that I'm balanced. I know that I can be right sometimes, I can be wrong sometimes, but just standing in your truth and knowing that you're not hasty, you're not rushing, you're not doing anything that would be considered negative. You're doing something that's considered right, and you know your truth, right? So let's look at the third card. And before we do, the card that I pull for this one is when you're truthful to yourself, the energy of money, right? Because the truth card represents the judgment card, right? We judge ourselves, we judge others. But I pull the king, I pulled, you know, a second card in alignment with these 3 cards. And the King of Pentacles, to me, an additional thought is that it's saying, once you are truthful, you let go of judgment and all of that frustration that comes with it, your prosperity flows much better. You get more out of whatever it is that you're desiring. Okay, so let's move on to the third card now. So we have the third card as the new beginnings. Okay, I want to bring this close. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. So it's that new beginning. And it's like you're on top of the world, right? And it represents a Fool card in tarot, even though she's on top of the world, and it's like the World card. But you can also think of it as the World card, like the world is yours. You can make things possible, right? And it's like the door is behind her. So it's like she closed that door and she's moving forward in the world. Okay, very powerful. So the message of this today that you might find if you pick the third card, and then we'll go on to the, you know, the whole 3, is that this is a time to really say, yeah, it's important for me to take this big step forward. And whenever we're ready to take like this big leap forward, it takes maybe For some of us, faith, being brave, of course. And one cool technique of being brave is just think of everything as an adventure in a sense, right? And it's also about, you know, knowing that something has played itself out. You get tired of something. So it's about knowing that you have a new great beginning ahead of you, like the Fool card, and you can really start over again. And when you empty yourself of everything else, there's really room to learn and grow. Even though you are wise in whatever you're wise about, or you're great at whatever you're great about, this is a new leap, a new step forward, cleaning the slate and just moving forward. And this is a great thing. And do it with, you know, life within you, with love, with just positivity. And really the best way to step forward is to cleanse yourself of all that negativity. Funny enough, the Knight of Pentacles was the card I pulled in the tarot, which is really funny because it's about stopping, pausing. You make your plan, but you stop and you pause, and then you move forward, right? And this kind of went with yesterday when I mentioned, I can't remember which card it was kind of like thinking, maybe it was the Page of Wands in yesterday's tarot reading, but I mentioned the Knight of Pentacles in it, about you have a plan and then you set forward on it, but you can always pause and rethink. Never feel pressured that you have to do something, right, the way that you had planned it out. You can tweak it as, you know, things will change. The world isn't designed to just go ahead with whatever your plan is. You gotta, you know, flow, right? So that's it. That's the daily reading. I hope you guys connect, and I will see you guys next time.